but not that audio. There we go. Now the audio works. Here we go. It's on. And you made it just in time. And you could hear the synth. Yes. Okay. The synth is working. The cats are fed. And we can make some noise. If anyone has any questions, things you'd like to discuss, shoot them out in the chat. We're going to be recording the System 1M. We're going to be chopping up the samples. We're going to be making them available as we did the last few weeks for our Monday 1-hour challenge, beat exhibition, beat support group, call it what you want. We're doing that on Mondays. We had a amazingly successful session last Monday. Had a bunch of really great mixes that came through using the samples that we recorded last week. And this week we're going to record some weirder, different stuff. Should be a little bit, maybe give us a little different palette than what we had the week before with the plates. Certainly a different palette than what we got with the DPO week before that. So we're going to make some noise. If we switch over to the modular, that's what we're trying to look at. It's a bright device, I'll tell you now. And there isn't much that can be done about the brightness, apparently. It's just like that. It doesn't look as bright up close, but my goodness. Let's see. Maybe brightness isn't the issue. Maybe it's... Nope. Nope. Go just full black and white. No? Okay, well, screw it. Didn't get much better. Okay. Here we go. Please do. Please, by all means, invite anybody who might like the audio and who might want to download the samples later. KD, what's up? We got HR, we got Skull, we got KD. Who knows who else will make it? Big ups for coming in, and let's talk about the modular that we got over here. It's really a semi-modular. This is sort of the device that started a lot of the semi-modular trend. You know, not to say that it is a trend setter, because it is not. It is. It was kind of a bit of a disaster when it came out. But just trying to get it close up in there. There we go. It's a little bit better. Okay, so we have a few sections. We do have an LFO. Hey, Lev is here. What up, Lev? We got an LFO section, which can map to pitch, filter, or amplitude, volume, right? With different shapes, different speed, and sort of an attack time, right? A fade in time for that LFO control, if it's being key triggered. 2 oscillators. a sub-oscillator, and a noise generator mixed right here. These two oscillators have 6 different modes each. They can be detuned by octave using their octave knobs. Each oscillator mode has a color control, sort of a dedicated, in a sense, wavetable modulation control. There is cross modulation, which allows us to frequency modulate back and forth between both of these oscillators. And then we can modulate the color control, which is the sort of oscillator parameter for each of these oscillators using basically assignable knobs below that color knob. We can do manual control, or we can just turn that knob by hand. We can use the LFO, the pitch envelope, which is over here. We can apply the filter envelope or the amp envelope, which as we get down to the end of the signal chain, down at this end, we get to the filter and the amp. There are an additional 6 modes for each oscillator that are enabled when you hold the legato button here. They can also do ring mod, hard sync from oscillator 2 to oscillator 1. We can detune the sub oscillator by 1 or 2 octaves. It's just a sine wave oscillator. White or pink noise modes, and it can play polyphonic modes if you plug MIDI into it. If you don't have MIDI plugged into it, then it's not going to do that. It's just going to play monophonic. So we're generally going to get monophonic results out of it today. I don't have a MIDI controller hooked up to it, and yeah, we'll worry about that on Monday, I suppose. So 2 oscillators, sub oscillator, noise generator. That all passes into the filter, which is a low pass 12 dB or 24 dB low pass filter with resonance. Also a high pass filter, a low resonance high pass filter that you can sort of do some low cutting with there. Built-in envelope for the filter, key mapping, or key tracking, I should say, for the filter. And then the amp envelope, which has its own tone control and a bit crusher, which tends to act more as a sample reducer, reverb, and delay controls internally. So all of that is happening inside of this one voice. And we do have a bit of patchability to this thing. This is where the really semi part of semi-modular starts to kick in. You want to come up here? Come on. Okay, we have a cat. Say hello. Say hello, Xenar. You're a good cat. You're a good cat. Okay. Cat visit documented. Okay, so we were saying there are some patch points along this this modular synth along the top. Okay, there are inputs and outputs. Essentially, we can take the LFO output. There's also a headphone output over here. You know, whatever. That's not much use. I guess it could be some use in some sense, but there's an LFO out. There are oscillator 1 sync output and oscillator 2 sync input. We have a ring mod input. We can output oscillators 1 and 2 independently. Why these are color-coded the way they are is maybe a little bit confusing, because some are ins and some are outs, even though they're all red, even though these are all blue. Whatever. External in and a mix out. The external in will mix into the filter. And an envelope control in. I believe that's so that we can trigger the envelope. No, maybe... I don't know what that's for, to be honest. I don't know what the input envelope control is for. Maybe it's so that we can bypass the internal envelope and use an external envelope module, or output the envelope shape as well. Yeah, there's also an LFO input. Yeah, I think those are for inputting an envelope or an LFO to control pitch or the filter cutoff. In this case, you can just map the internal envelopes to already do that, but you have that option. And then there's an envelope in and out for the the amp envelope as well. So that's it. There's not a lot. It's not a complicated synthesizer. It's a 2-voice, I guess 3 with the sub synth, but it can make some pretty fat tones. So let's get to it. I've got maths plugged in to gate the instrument, and that's not enough. You also have to have something patched into the CV input. You could just have a dummy cable patched into the CV input. It doesn't have to actually be routed to anything to control the pitch. If you just want the pitch to kind of like remain static, you can do that. I have it routed over to the voltage block so that I can just control the pitch up and down using a slider on the voltage block. It's easier than doing it with something on the panel itself. And let's go through some of these oscillator modes. We'll listen to one oscillator at a time. And I'm going to just start the recording over here. L. Okay. We have the sort of ramp or saw and square modes here. The color knob really controls sort of the pulse width. In a sense, on both of them. Not really pulse width on the square wave, or the sawtooth wave, I should say, but it's more like a sync function. Has a similar tone, though. Now we're over to the triangle wave. And we can map the LFO to do some modulation here. Maybe we can get this a little bit louder. It's a little bit better. That's not much better, actually. Could also, instead of having the LFO control that, well, let's have it control the color. And when we map the modulation to that color knob, we have to turn up the color knob to essentially control the intensity of modulation. We get to sort of a super saw. We do have a stepped random value for the LFO. Now we're step randomizing the pitch. Now we're on this dual square mode. Detuned squares, right? Yeah. And we'll go to the last one, which is a dual triangle wave. Much subtler. All right, now we're going to bring this together with oscillator 2. We're going to mix in oscillator 2. Which has a fine-tune control on it. Unlike oscillator 1. Now we're cross-modulating these two sawtooth waves, which gives us very aggressive frequency modulation back and forth. Very aggressive. Let's sync the waves. Reset the color and cross mod. When they're synced, of course, and perfectly in tune, they're largely canceling each other out, so we can try them in different octaves. Just turn up the release time and just get a, sort of a constant flow as well. Playing with the delays here. Turning up the resonance on the filter. Now I'm pulling the pitch envelope here. Okay, there's also these hidden oscillator modes. When we hold the legato button, we get to these other legato functions. Try to scroll the screen down and check out some of the other... Would this help? Down here is mostly Mofenzief and Sputnik stuff. Shout out to Rossfish, Mofenzief. Up top is a random smattering of gear. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna hold the legato button. And I'm gonna turn the oscillator mode. This is kind of like a dirty sawtooth wave. You did miss the cat, but he might be back. Don't worry. There's other cats also, so you never know. Okay, so now we've got this... Oh, let's turn this off. There we go. It's a little tighter. It's very reminiscent of, like, the analog sawtooth wave. Oh, wait. Let's see. Oh, okay. It also helped if I opened up the filter. Yeah, it's sort of like a noisy sawtooth wave. There we go. Not enough, not a long enough pitch envelope. Okay. Now we're going legato up to the triangle mode, and that gives us something that is otherwise not available on the main modes, which is a sine wave, which allows us to do some folding FM, call it what you like. It's more like wave folding. Phase. Not phase modulation. It might be like analog FM. Maybe this is the FM mode. This mode we get more of a voice sim. Get some fun combinations of this with Bit Crusher. We're gonna bring the cat back, don't worry. Okay, and the last mode is a sort of 808 cowbell. Yeah, I think we're gonna have some good stuff for Monday. We haven't even gotten into like kick drums and stuff like that yet. Let's do some of those. Okay, let's go down. There we go. Doesn't really go high enough in pitch, I have to say. That'd help opening up the high pass filter. Yeah, it helped a bit. Should I break it open and let the mouse live? Definitely seems very upset. Oh yeah. Let's try this. So now I'm re-triggering it super fast to try to get sort of like, you know, a different effect. Try to refire all these envelopes super quick. Gives us totally different results, right? Now plugging it into the Wogglebug gate output, so we're getting like crazy random gates. All right, I think that's a lot of craziness. That's like way more than we need. I knew that would be interesting. Got some really crazy stuff in there, I think. So, join us on Monday on twitch.tv/Dibbledoink, and we will be making these samples available on the Discord. The Discord link should be right below the video. And if you hop in the Discord, you can grab the samples that we just recorded here. We'll post them 5 o'clock or earlier on Monday, and you can download and use those samples for the 1 hour challenge that we do at 6 p.m. on Twitch. And last week we had 6 people submit mixes that they did in that 1 hour. They were mind-bogglingly good, and I can't wait to do it again this week. Hope everybody comes back. Hope we get some other people in here. And yeah, got some good stuff. Got some weird sounds for this time. So I'll chop those up and post them up soon. Thanks for coming through, and we'll see you guys